welcome to episode 10 of The Knitting Bird. This week's podcast is going to be all about the Janner Gansey. I've made so much progress in the last couple of weeks with my daughter being off for the Easter holidays. So I'm going to show you my Gansey, my Janner Gansey, and then I'm going to do a bit of a talk about me and my husband's little mini break or short break we went on at the weekend. It's our anniversary coming up on Thursday. I keep saying Wednesday, but it's Thursday. And we will be married for 15 years. So we decided to go away, and it was a lovely weekend. So I shall show you my Gansey that I've been working on for my brother-in-law. I've done really well the last 2 weeks, so you can see where the green stitch marker is. I've done about 4. I'm hoping I've done about 4.5 inches. I don't measure and it just takes ages for you to knit on it. So I'm really chuffed with that now. So where the purple stitch marker is what I've knit over this weekend and yesterday. I'm super happy. I seen my brother-in-law over the Easter holidays. He come down to see my father-in-law, and I took my Gansey or his Gansey with me, and I asked him if he wanted to see it or not, or it was left as a surprise, and he said, no, I want it to be a surprise. I want to see the finished garment. But then he went, no, actually, if you've got it in the bag, I really want to see it. So I shown him, and he said, oh my God, it's amazing. I said, oh, thank you very much. He said, but I don't want to see any of it anymore. So I did tell him about my podcast, and he said, oh, it's an honour that you be able to show my Gansey on your podcast, to show everybody the progress you make each couple of weeks. So, that was really nice of him to say that. So I'm really chuffed with this now. Yay! So I'll show so that's some progress on that, and I'm really chuffed with that. I think in like my first couple of podcasts that I do, I did show my Gansey and it was on me, so you couldn't really see the details under the arms and stuff. So I thought today I'd show you my Gansey so that you'll be able to know or see where I need to be next after I've just done the plain stockinette stitch on my brother-in-law's Gansey. So this is my Gansey, and the colour is called Breton. Oh, it's such a lovely colour, like a really, I'm hoping it's coming up on camera okay, but like a really nice burnt orange. It's quite like deep, it's not bright at all. So I'm really happy with that. And at the bottom, I'm hoping you can see it, it's my initials, JB. Oh, super happy with this, so super cozy and warm. So once I've done my stockinette part of my jumper is 15 inches from the bottom up. He's having his 17 inches, so and my husband's I did for 17 inches, so it's longer, so when my husband goes out fishing it doesn't rise up. I hate that, don't you, when you've got a jumper on, you keep wanting to pull it down. And I've got enough yarn, definitely got enough yarn to be able to do to the 17 inches, so that's really good. So what will happen is you've got purl bumps here, along here, and you decrease some stitches before you go on to pattern, so they're reduced, and then you go on to, and I'll show you, you do 40 rounds. I'll just try and get it right. You've got a gusset underneath here. So you do 40 rounds, and you, as you're increasing out, your fake seam comes up on the side of the jumper on either side, and then splits out to where the gusset is, and you do half of the gusset, and then you stop. So that's 40 rounds. And then basically what you do is you put the first lot of pattern stitches onto a needle, and then the rest get put on on holders on thread. And what you do is, it's a lovely pattern, so there's like zigzag and cable, zigzag, and then the middle bit is a moss stitch, which is really lovely. So for my Gansey, for the armhole, I did 8 inches, and for my brother-in-law's it's going to be 9 inches. It's 9 inches, and then you put the back on hold, and then you put the back on hold, and you put, yeah, sorry, there's someone at the door. You put the back on hold, and then you knit up, you put the back on needles, and you knit that up for 9 inches. And it's a lovely thing where you do all live stitches, and it's a 3 needle bind off, and then it becomes a little gusset up the top, which is a bit tricky and a bit fiddly with the needles that you're working on. And then the neck is all live stitches. So I've got a way to go for my brother-in-law's, but when I get onto the pattern, because you're following a pattern, you want to see how the pattern's going to go. You want to just keep on going, and then you pick up for the sleeves afterwards and do the other half of the gusset. And the gusset makes the Gansey more breathable, and more arm movement underneath. Just gives that nice little detail underneath as well. So yeah, really like this. The colour, I'm hoping that the colour's coming up all right on there, but I really love this pattern. So yeah, that's a bit about my Gansey, and I'll show you the knitting pattern that I'm using. I had a comment from a lovely lady called Kat. Yeah, that's right, from Kat, and she was asking about where she could get the knitting pattern from. Because this was a lottery, I was on a project, I went on a course to learn how to knit a Gansey, and because it was a heritage funded, a heritage funded by the lottery, I had to ask, obviously out of politeness, to the people that ran the course, whether I could put the link in the description of where to buy the knitting pattern. So I will link that under this video today, and it's called the Janner Gansey sweater pattern, and it will come out. This is not as dark as my brother-in-law's, this is a lighter colour, but this is how it will look when it's done. So yeah, super happy that it's a lovely, lovely pattern. And the lady Kat was also asking about the different patterns you can get on top of Gansey. So each port, so from Port Isaac and different ports going through, the fishermen had different motifs at the top of their jumpers. So, and they always had their initials at the bottom. So if they got lost at sea, the item of clothing they would know it belonged to that person because of their initials, and also because of the pattern of where they are. So I have got a few knitting books to show you that might be of help to you if you'd like to know more about Gansey's and all of that sort of thing. This first book is Cornish Guernseys and Knit Frocks by Mary Wright. And it's a even if you don't want, if you wanted to know the background of Guernseys and that sort of thing, this is a really good resource book for it. Unfortunately, Mary Wright has now passed away. She was the person that discovered the people that knitted Guernseys, and she found out all the history behind it, and she was the one that wrote this book, and she had knitted many Guernseys as well. So it's a really good resource book. Lovely pictures, and it gives you pictures of the fishermen wearing them. I'm hoping you can see that. So that it's a really, and then at the back of the book, see, like this, the young lads and that used to wear them. And this photo here is in Port Isaac, and all the ladies never used to knit their Guernseys in their cottages. The cottages were too dark for them to be to see the stitches, so they always used to knit them by the harbour side, while keeping an eye on the children. And they used to knit them on really long, deep, double pointed needles, and you can see that, hopefully you can see that in there, that she's got these long needles. So that's a really good resource book if you were looking to see, to see about different patterns of the Guernseys. And also they have some knitting patterns at the back. I think they have. Yeah, they've got some knitting patterns at the back. So like this. So this is how when I get to this bit, this will all be put on hold, and then you knit this up. This front and the back's up. So yeah, that's a really good resource book, and I'll put that in the description below. And the other one that I bought, or my mum gifted me for Christmas, I believe. Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was for my birthday, and I said, "Oh, can you get me the Gansey knitting source book?" And she said, "Yes, of course." So this is that one, and it's by Gilpin and Sheila Greenwood, and they're the judges of the knitting show on the telly that we all have opinions about. But it's a really good resource book actually, and it gives you lots of different stitch patterns. It will tell you how to knit your Gansey, and then what stitch pattern you can put in your own Gansey. So it has 150 stitch patterns and 10 projects for Gansey knits. And this photo here, I've got some wool left over for my Gansey, so I might knit this one. It's got cowls in here and a Guernsey cowl, which is beautiful, and it's got socks and all that sort of thing. So I will also put a link to this below. Yeah, it's a really good, it's got mittens and cardigans and hats. Oh, and these are the socks. So yeah, that's two of the Gansey source books there for you. So yeah, I haven't been knitting on anything else. Well, I tell a lie, I've finished a couple of things, but I'm really trying to focus on this Gansey now to try and get these 3 inches done. My hands this week have been quite sore with them, so I do like a couple of hours here stop and then another couple of hours. And I did make a mistake last night, so I had to like unknit about 20 stitches. I think what I'd done, it looked like there was a little hole gonna form, so I think what I did was put the needle through the yarn instead of, I wasn't concentrating, I must have been tired, because I was trying to rush to get these 3 inches done. It'll be done when it's done. My brother-in-law's not in a rush for it. He won't be wearing it until the winter anyway, so it's fine. So yeah, so that's a bit about the Gansey, and then I just thought I'd give you a bit of information about our weekend away. So as I said at the beginning, our 15th anniversary is on Thursday. So we decided to go away for the weekend, a bit of a short break, just me and my husband. It was a bit of trying to get people to come and babysit my little girl who's got additional needs, but it all worked out in the end. The 2 nannies, one nanny did a Friday, my son did Friday night, Saturday night and Saturday, and then my mum did the Sunday. So it was nice. We got away on Friday last week about 2 o'clock. And from where we live in Plymouth, it takes us about an hour and a half to get there. So I did knit on my Gansey as I went, of course I did. So, and I took some socks with me, but I didn't really knit much of that. Oh, it was really nice. It was nice to get away. So Port Isaac, if you didn't know, is where the Fisherman Friends film was filmed. And Doc Martin's series on the telly was filmed there as well. So my husband took some lovely photos and videos of me knitting on my brother-in-law's Gansey outside the Doc Martin's house where it was filmed. The Friday night we had a couple of beers in the local pub, and we decided to have some fish and chips to take away fish and chips. Oh, it was really nice. We had battered haddock and chips, and the box was like this, and luckily the box had a lid because we decided to sit outside and see the lovely scenery, and there were seagulls around everywhere flying above us to try and pinch a chip from our dinner. You had to eat it fast and hide under the box as you ate the chips and the fish, because you didn't want the seagulls to come and get your dinner. It was so good. So we did that on the Friday night, and our little cottage where we stayed was just enough for what we needed. We were right by the harbour. And then on the Saturday we did a lot of walking. I did some knitting, and I sat in my Gansey, and my husband wore his Gansey, so we looked like proper tourists. It was so funny. We were walking around with our Janner Ganseys on, looking like a Wright pair. So, but it was really good fun. My husband took his fishing rod and he caught a couple of wrasse. I obviously was sat on the side. There was like a sea wall, and I sat there and did some Gansey knitting, and it was really lovely. So we went to the old school, and that in Doc Martin there was a school, Port Wen School, and we had our evening dinner in there, and it was really lovely. My husband had fish pie with vegetables, and he had prawns and white fish. I'm not sure. I don't think it was cod. It was like white fish, haddock. Not haddock, sorry. White fish. And then I had a fish curry with chickpeas and jasmine rice, and it was really, really nice. Really nice and tasty. And then we had a few beers, and on the Sunday we did much of the same, just sat and looked out to sea and heard all the nice birds. And when we went to sleep of a night time, you just slept to birds singing in the garden, and it was lovely. Oh, It was so nice. I didn't want to come home. And lots of people say, oh, I can't wait to get home to get to my own bed, but I could have stayed there for another week. But as it is, back to school yesterday, my little daughter went back to school, and she got on really well back to school. I think she was ready for back to routine and back on transport. So she was happy when she come home yesterday, but it was a lovely weekend, and I would like to go back there, please. Just me and my husband, just so we can have a breakaway. Yeah, really enjoyed it. One of the pub that we were in called the Golden Lion, and that was featured in both of the film and the series of Doc Martin. And he was saying the population of Port Isaac is 30. That's it. That's the only residents that live at Port Isaac is 30. And the rest are holiday lets, which is a bit of a shame for the locals not being able to afford to live in Port Isaac. But it's very much a holiday let place. But we couldn't vote our accommodation. It's just what we wanted and just what we needed. Lovely food, lovely just quietness and still, and it was just really nice. So yeah, I did buy a present when I was over there, and I couldn't resist it because obviously I didn't need it, but it was a case of like, I'd like one of those, so I got it. I seen it in the window on the first day that we were there, and I said, I have to have that. And it's a mug, and it says, "How much?" And inside it says Port Isaac. So this is going to be my podcast mug now. How much? Oh, I love it. It's so good. It's really good. So it's from the Moorland Pottery. So yeah, love that. And I drink endless cups of tea, so it's just the right size when you're sat outside in the sun on a nice warm day. But today in Plymouth, it's not warm, it's quite windy. It's quite howly with wind today. But the sun is out, but in that wind, it's quite chilly. So yeah, that's... and the other thing that we did when we were away, they had... at their St Peter's Church at Port Isaac in Cornwall, they had a display about the Guernseys and the fishermen wearing their Guernseys with the boats, and I took quite a few pictures. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it wherever there's a gap either side of these fishermen back years ago wearing the original fishing Guernseys. So I hope you will enjoy that bit, and at the end of this video I'm going to put a few videos in that my husband took of me knitting and standing at Doc Martin's house and that sort of thing. I think there's just be a few videos at the end and maybe a picture or so for you to see, so stay tuned to the end to watch that. Yeah, let's hope I can get some more on my Gansey knitted up. So yeah, that's it for today really. The next episode, I'm not going to show the Gansey. I'm going to try and get a bit more progress so you can see all the stitch pattern. I have, in my next episode, I have got a few finished objects I do want to cast on for my summer cardigan, because it's getting that time of year now that I can't, I've got one cardigan and I do like my cardigans in the summer, so I might cast that on tonight, or when I've got spare time after the school run. Yeah, so, and also I'd like to do a big thank you. I've had 3 or 4 subscribers this last couple of weeks, and quite a few people viewing my channel. So I'm really happy about that. And last night I had someone subscribe to my channel who is another podcaster, a knitting podcaster. So I'm just looking at my notes because I will, so she's called Rowberry Knits and Bits, and I've been commenting on her channel. She's from Wales and she does some lovely knitting, crochet knitting. You must go and check her out. I'll try and put the link in the description below. If I can't do it, I know my son will be able to show me how to do it. So I'll try and put her description, her YouTube channel in the description box below, because I was in a bit of shock last night that she subscribed to my channel. I was like smiling all night, couldn't believe it. Someone that I've been watching since she started her YouTube channel, and I'm subscribed to her channel. She's not been well either, so my heart goes out to her. I hope she's feeling better soon. She looked a lot better on her last video, so so you must go and check her out. She's so good. She's knitting. Her last episode was 1 hour and 15 minutes long. It's a very chatty one, but really good. Her knitting is really good, and her knitting, she's knitting a lot of baby clothes at the moment. She's got a few grandchildren on the way and coming quite soon. I think one of them are like 37 weeks pregnant, so not long now, and she's got a little grandson or daughter coming. So yeah, must go and check her out, and thank you very much for subscribing to my channel. It means so much to me, it really does, so thank you very much. So on that note, I shall see you in a couple of weeks' time. I hope you enjoy this video, and don't forget to stick to the end so you see the little videos of Port Isaac. So enjoy, take care, bye, happy knitting. Yeah.